everybody. It's your girl, Khina Culler of Divas of the Roundtable Podcast. I'm joined here today on the show with my beautiful co-hosts, Spicy Red and Ladybug. On today's show, we have a very special guest. Today's show, we have Miss Tiki Stafford here. Tiki Stafford is a Jacksonville native who has resided in Jacksonville for 35 years. She's the mother of 4 children, the grandmother of 3, and she's also an advocate speaking out for those who are suffering from or has become a victim to domestic violence. In May of 2019, Tiki Stafford lost her oldest daughter, Khina Culler, to a domestic violence incident. Today, she's on the show to share Khina's story, as well as highlight the growing occurrences of domestic violence going on in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Ms. Tiki Stafford. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I know, like I shared with you when I reached out to you, Khina used to be one of my cheerleaders when I was a Pop Warner coach, a cheer coach. And everybody in Jacksonville heard the story in 2019. So once we got the show going, it was one of the topics that we talked about, touching on domestic violence.
Okay.
And it was a personal topic, knowing her, you know what I'm saying? Like it was, when she was young, I can't say that I knew her as she grew into a young adult, a young lady. Mm-hmm. But, I did share time and space and conversation with your daughter. So it was more of a personal thing to have you on the show and to tell that story. Yeah. So, I really appreciate you coming out. So, the first thing I wanted to ask, I wanted you to just share with the audience what kind of person Khina was. Who was Khina?
Let me describe Khina. Khina was a very vibrant person, outgoing, feisty. She was feisty. She didn't hold back. Mm-hmm. She didn't hold back. She was very creative. She, when she passed, she had started making drinks, mm-hmm. and she got very creative with it. And she was one of the first people I know to, do the drinks. Mm-hmm. With the alcohol or whatever in them. Mm-hmm. And I was shocked because she don't drink.
Yeah.
How a non-drinker can come up with such creativity with these drinks.
Yes.
Making them different kinds, different colors, and just the mix of it. Mm-hmm. And so, she was that person, that fun person that you would love to be around. Mm-hmm. She liked it to dance, even though I didn't think she could dance. Mm-hmm. So she liked it to dance, and she just liked it to be on the go. Uh-huh. She was always one of those people you got one life and you got to live it. And mm-hmm. Up to that day, she lived life. Yeah. But she was just one of those people that you really had to be around.
Okay.
To know her was to really love her.
Yeah. And see, that's different. Like you saying, she was outgoing, because when she was a cheerleader, when she was younger then, I believe they were maybe 12 or so. Mm-hmm. I guess they was about 12. So she was more she was one of my quieter girls. She wasn't one of those loud ones that you saw looking right. at the boys giggling and you laughing all the time. She was more, quiet, but she did what, she was told. She was an active member of the cheer squad and everything. And she was just not an introvert, but she wasn't as lively as the other one. So I'm assuming that she did grow into that as a young woman. Yes. So that's very pleasing to hear that she was that type of person, to leave that type of mark on people in the community and on society.
Yeah, her passing, she and it's so crazy because I'm a quiet person. I really don't mingle. So when the day of her funeral, my sister, they helped me with the arranging. We had it at Abyssinia, which was at the time my sister's church. And I was just well, we don't need a very big church because, I'm not no popular person. Mm-hmm. I'm a homebody. Mm-hmm. I'm a TV person. So I don't think, Khina knew that many people like that. So my sister was well, how many people think? I said, maybe about 100, maybe 200. So she went and paid the church for 200 people. After the funeral, the church was well, hey, you said 100 or 200 people. It was over 700 people in here. And I'm over how many people?
Wow.
Oh, wow. I was just gosh. Wow. I know I kind of glanced around a little bit. And I'm well, ain't nowhere to see.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice that many people in the church.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of people that came out and people reached out to me, and I'm just like, how she knew you? How she knew you? I didn't know y'all.
Yeah.
How she knew all these people? And to this day, I still have people that reach out to me like, your daughter made the best drinks.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, I'm not a drinker.
Yeah. I saw that on her Facebook page.
People still, and they still be reaching out like, I wish she were here because I needed her to make these drinks for this and this event and that event. And it's crazy because we was looking at some little truck she had done showed me that she wanted me to get something built on the back of it so she can go mobile because she wanted to really be a bartender. I'm like, okay, so you serious with this thing? So, we're going to do what we need to do to get you where you need to be at. And she was like, Mom, this is what I want to do. And I'm like, hey, I'm all down for self-employment.
Yes.
So we're going to make it happen. And then she ended up going to Bell's Bottom School at the time, too, because she also wanted to be a merchant student. So we were making processes to get everything in preparation so that she can be able to do this when she ain't on the boat. And she can still do the drinks. She can do the bells bond. Somebody can run the office while she gone. So I was setting her up so she didn't have to depend on the 9 to 5, worry about, if that check gonna come. I was setting her up. And unfortunately, right before she got ready to submit paperwork so she can intern, this happened. And, it was just, we were blown because that was my birthday. We just had a good time at my mom's house. So nobody was expecting less than 45 minutes later for her to be dead.
Wow.
So that was,
Yeah.
So she was your oldest baby. Describe her as being a mother.
Shauna was a good mom. She was a fun mom. She was a zero tolerance mom too. Okay. She didn't play. I'm soft. She didn't play. But she made sure them kids was to school every day. When I used to pick my oldest granddaughter up, to this day still, she does not eat lunch at school. So when I pick her up, she'll pull out a lunchbox. I'm like, the school got lunch. Why you got a lunchbox every day? I pick you up. She opened it up, trying to have so many snacks. And I'm like, you're only one person. You can't. Did your mom put all the Debbie cakes and Capri Suns in your lunchbox? So, and this was every day, and it was just like she made sure them kids was Disney World, wherever they was there. And I'm looking like, girl, y'all be moving. When I looked up, you were just here. I look up, y'all somewhere on the road somewhere. She made sure that those kids enjoyed life, that she did something with her kids. So I can't point her out as being a bad mom because she was not that. I made sure they was dressed well.
Yeah.
And she made sure she did her part is making sure they had fun, making sure they was in school, making sure they was getting educated, making sure they was eating, making sure they had doctor appointments. She did her job as a mom. I can't take that from her.
So now you done took the baton.
Gosh.
Second go around, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm supposed to be somewhere on somebody's vacation on an island enjoying life. But I'm like, y'all, did y'all realize 2024 I didn't see an island?
Yeah.
And my granddaughter like, well, if you didn't see one and we didn't see one, nobody ain't gonna see one. Yeah. And I'm just like, that's the 6-year-old, 7-year-old now. Yeah, she's her mom. She is every spirit of her mom.
Well, that's the blessing in itself. In the tragedy is having you there able to pick up the pieces and move the kids along as your daughter would have.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. I can say that. Just like last week, I'm trying to cook dinner, and my son, who he's 14, he want to learn how to be cooking. Because, we ain't gonna eat nothing but chicken and fish in my house. And I'm not frying it because I don't eat fried food. So I got a commercial fryer sitting on the counter, and I actually went and bought it for her. Okay. Because she was doing fried crabs and everything. She'll come to my house and I fry the crabs for her or whatever. So that's how I learned how to do fried crabs. Because of her. Because she's taking these orders, but she don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. You got to figure it out. Okay, well, I don't know. If we're supposed to drop the crab in that line, what are we supposed to do?
Oh, wow.
So I had to figure it out, but I had bought a commercial fryer, and it's still sitting in the same spot it was sitting in since May the 5th, because she had did some orders earlier that day at my house. And my son was like, Mom, why we don't ever use the fryer? So I look back at the fryer, and I'm like, it still got the same grease she bought that day.
Oh, wow.
It's like literally stuck to the counter because I haven't moved it. And I just started crying because I'm just like, this really is the new norm for us. This is reality. So I just seen my other grandkids come out, they hug me. And then the baby got in front of me, she hugging me, and I'm just like, okay, you gotta pull this together. You can't be crying in front of these kids. Put it together. So I'm just like, I gotta get myself together. But it was so hard standing right there, and I'm just like, any little thing will trigger me. It's like, there's nowhere in my house that you're gonna walk, like even in the bathroom, and you're not gonna see multiple pictures of her.
Okay.
Every room, hallway, bathroom, kitchen, it's gonna be something of her in there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a picture. So I'm just like, and I'm looking at my grandson, because my grandson, he was the oldest at the time, so he's taking it the hardest.
Yeah.
So we all go to therapy. I don't find multiple therapists for myself, you know, and it's just like, okay, therapy is not working for him. I know it ain't working for me.
Yeah.
And he's a handful. He's a handful, and he just do anything. He just doing anything. I'm just like, sometimes I find him, because I kept a sofa set when I cleared out the house. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna put a sofa set in my house, and I gave 2 of her best friends and my daughter and my mom her clothing and the shoes and stuff, and then I kept some items for myself there in my closet. And I would find him, as far as he can think he can go up under the sofa that don't have but that much room. He's so far close to it, up under the coffee table, trying to find whatever comfort he can up his mouth. So I'm just like, this road is real bumpy.
Yeah.
It hasn't smoothed out. We finna be 6 years. The road haven't got any smoother.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what do? You know, with the acting out in school, the behavior issues, it's just like, there's no out with him on the trauma that he sustained from losing his mom. The girls, on the other hand, you know, Kylie was 1. Carly was 5, finna be 6. That in a couple of days, about 3 weeks, she was turning 6 on June 2nd. So Kylie, she remember her mom, and that's another reason why I keep the pictures up, because I want her to always know, this is your mother. I'm not your mother. I'm grandmother. We look alike, but that's mommy right there. So she know who her mommy is, and you know, to me, I'm spiritual. So I believe sometimes as she was growing up, that China was coming to see her, because she would be in there playing and talking to herself, and nobody's there. So I'm like, yeah, her mom in here playing with her. She's making sure she's okay. But Carly, on the other hand, Carly actually was the one who witnessed her mom being shot.
Was that the 1-year-old?
No, she was 5.
Okay, the 5-year-old. Okay.
She's 10 now. But she was standing on the porch.
Oh, okay.
When she, like, my dad pointed at my mom, and he said, boom, boom.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's how many times they say the gun went off. Yeah. You know, so it's just, yeah, we just make the best out of the situation.
So if you can you take us back to where, so those who are watching who don't know the story of China and what happened, can you take us back to that day in May as to what transpired as far as everything that was gathered from the initial investigation, witness detail, and things that you've been told? Can you take us back to what happened?
Yeah, I can. That particular day, her and my sister decided that they wanted to have me a surprise birthday party, because May the 5th actually was my birthday. So they wanted to have me a surprise birthday party. And my sister said that, you know, while they was together, she said China had got a call, got a message, and it was from her kid's father. He sent her a picture of some clothing that he had put on the sofa. So she was like, my daughter was like, he broke into my house, Auntie.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, what? She was like, yeah. So she said, they called 911. GSO told them that they had to be within a 5-mile radius in order for them to come out. No, a 2-mile, I think, the 2-mile radius in order for them to come out. So she said, she put my daughter in the car. They rushed over there to her house and she waited about 45 minutes. GSO never showed up. So she was like, is that normal? And I'm like, well, yeah, I remember one time I went over there before she called me and, he would call the names or whatever. And I went over there, got her, went to the gas station. Him and his brother was at the gas station. They came too. The police came and they were like, there's nothing they can do. And I'm like, really? Okay. I say, and I remember myself telling the officer, so y'all gonna do something when she dead, right?
Yeah.
So the officer, he was a black officer too, and he looked at me and I'm like, yeah, because we had to come to the gas station to meet y'all. They ended up coming up here too. And she's telling you what was going on. And you're telling us there's nothing you can do. Cool. So I told my sister, I was telling my sister that story. She was like, so that's normal. I said, I'm assuming you've been there 45 minutes and they ain't showed up. Yeah. So she told my daughter that she was going to take her to the memorial building.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Monday. But they came back to my mom's house. We had a good time. And I remember her sitting, my mom got like a long rectangle dining room table with 8 chairs on it. And I was sitting right here and she sat right here at the head of the table. She got quiet after she got off the phone. So I'm like, you okay? And she went to yelling at me. I'm like, oh, hold up, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. I look different to you or something? You forgot I was your mother? Mm-hmm. So she was like, no. And I looked at her face and I'm like, she don't look normal. Like, you were just happy and like, what happened? Mm-hmm. You weren't on the phone 1 minute. What happened in 1 minute? Who you was talking to? What was said to you? So she was like, Mom, I got to go. So I'm like, we in the middle of the party. She was like, I got to go get the kids. I'm like, why you got to leave to go get the kids? Why you can't bring the kids here? You have a party for your mom. My grandkids can't be brought here to you. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So, once she left, I was like, party over. I ain't gonna party with my daughter had me a surprise party and she had to leave. Right. Yeah. Her spirit had them down, so my spirit them down too. Because we just like, I'm gonna call her and make sure she good. So, my grandson, he was staying with me at the time. Because I had my son. I'm like, he don't need to be with them 2 girls. He come over here with me. Mm-hmm. So we had them packed up, got me gifts. They had got me 2 cakes, so we putting everything in the car. By the time I left my mom's house and got to my house, which ain't up for 5 minutes, pulled up in the driveway, I had called her and I'm like, you good? She was like, yeah, Mom. She said, I'm getting the kids out of the car. I said, oh, okay, well, call me right back when you get through. She didn't call me back. I called her back. So she was like, I'm getting ready for bed. we still getting the stuff out of the car. So I said, okay. She said, I'm gonna call you right back. So I said, okay. 2 minutes done passed, 2 minutes too long. So I'm calling, I ain't getting no answer. So we started taking the stuff and going from the car to the house. So I'm just like, that ain't like her not to answer me or call me right back. Then my phone rang. I hear the girl on the other end, she hollering, Miss Tiki, Miss Tiki, Miss Tiki. I'm like, well, what's wrong? Everything good, what's wrong? She said, Miss Tiki, China just got shot. So I saw her laugh. I said, girl, why y'all play so much? This is some stuff that goes on in a movie. Stop playing like that. Don't play like that. Don't play with me like that. Mm-hmm. I hung the phone up. She called me right back, screaming. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, this ain't no movie action going on. This real action. Like, what? I done snatched my son and my grandson. I'm like, get in the car. I don't care what you got in your hand. Drop it where you're standing.
Yeah.
We jumped in the car. I'm hitting it down Tallulah, trying to get the Edgewood. I'm calling my mama. I called my sister first. I told my sister, I say, Trail, the girl that stayed with China just say China just got shot. So my sister said, what? I said, she said China just got shot. I called my son. I'm telling my son, my oldest son, I'm like, the girl stayed with China said she just got shot. So my son was, where's she at? Where's she at? I say, they was outside the house. I said, she said they was on the phone with 911. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I'm headed to the house. So, we all getting in pursuit, going to the house. I done went down to Lula, jumped on the expressway. I'm getting back there. I said, well, let me call, because I know by now the ambulance done got there. So I called her back. I said, hey, you know, what's going on? She said, they just took her. I said, well, where's she going? She was like, I said, what? Wait, I don't know where I'm going. I'm like, okay, trauma, Chance.
Yeah.
Get the Chance. By then, I done called my sister back. My sister gonna call everybody. I get to the hospital because I was the furthest away.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody at the hospital, so you know, I done jumped, left my car in the middle of the street because I'm trying to see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Ran to the hospital. I'm like, well, what's going on? What's going on? Where she at? What y'all know? Nobody knows anything. So my mom just like, we done been up there multiple times. Nobody can tell us nothing. I go up there. Hey, my daughter was out here. She been shot. Like, where she at? They ask my name. I give her the name. The lady looking crazy. I'm just like, ma'am.
Yeah.
Where my daughter at? I done walked off. I'm just like, I'm praying, and I'm just like, this some movie, real live stuff going on that goes on in the movie. Like, not in my world. This don't go on in my world.
Yeah.
Like, this not going on. This not, no, this ain't happening. Right? Everybody paranoid, everybody coming up to me, like, what's going on? I don't know.
You don't know.
We all trying to find. I'm back to the counter. Every 2 minutes, I'm at the counter. Hey, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
So a guy came out, and I'm just like, hey, look, I done been here 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nobody told me nothing yet. Where is my daughter? So I done gave him the name. He said, I'll be right back. I said, okay, so now I'm pacing again. We 45 minutes in now.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, it don't take this long now. I'm at the counter now. I'm reading pure hell. Because somebody need to be telling me something.
Right.
Yeah.
So the black guy came back out. He was like, come with me. So then I was married then. So me and my husband go back there. And I'm like, well, where we going? Like, where the room at? Where she at? Yeah, she in operation. What's going on? So the guy, he ain't saying much. He was like, I'm going to get the doctors for you. The doctors, like, we done passed a whole bunch of people. Like, where we going?
Mm-hmm.
So he took me in his room. I'm sitting there. I'm just like, clock ticking.
Mm-hmm.
What's up? She in surgery? What's going on?
Yeah.
You know where she got shot at? Somebody you better come tell me something other than my daughter ain't here no more. I want to hear that. Now, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
So I see 2 Caucasian ladies walk up dressed in black. So I'm like, well, them ain't no doctors because the doctors were green. Last time I came to Shane's, they wore green. So, like, what do you do? They got on black. Both of them got on black. No, they weren't chaplains.
Oh, they what?
They walked up to me. They introduced themselves as doctors. I'm like, oh, okay, y'all changed y'all clothes. What's going on? Where my daughter?
Mm-hmm.
So the look on the lady's face, I said, man, where my daughter? She in surgery?
Mm-hmm.
How long she gonna be in surgery? That's all I want to know. How long?
Yeah.
How serious was the wound when she got a shot at?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear nothing else you got to say. Other
Yeah.
than how long she gonna be in surgery, because I know that's what you tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Lady say, unfortunately, I've been in medical field 30 years. When we start using that, unfortunately,
Yeah.
it ain't good.
Right.
Before she can get it all out, when I woke up, I was missing the earring, and my husband was fanning me, and I'm just like, why the hell are you fanning me?
Mm-hmm.
Where my baby at?
Mm-hmm.
Chaplain standing right there. And he was saying, all I remember him saying was, I was trying to let you go back there to see her before they locked the scene down. And I'm like, the scene? See her? I'm still talking surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So after I, got myself together, whatever, I had to go back up there and let my family know she didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And they about to that hospital.
Yeah.
Next thing I know, my son and was like, where he at? He done called all his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody going to find.
Yeah.
They going to find. So I'm just, I probably couldn't even feel my feet. I don't even know how I made it to my car. Because I'm just like, there's some real live action movie stuff going on.
Yeah.
This just not just happened.
Right.
Not on my birthday. This didn't happen to me. And the detective walked up to me and he was saying it's another guy on the scene that they believe is deceased. And I'm like, what? I ain't processing none of what you saying.
It's really starting to sound like a movie now
So
at this point, for real.
What I could think about was where my grandbaby's at. Where my grandbaby's at. So my sister called her best friend and she sent her best friend to the house. The best friend called back and said, well, hey, the street is blocked off. And she had to let the police know, she needed to get in there to get the kids because the mom was at the hospital and somebody needed to get the kids.
Yeah. So
she ended up getting the kids and we got to my mom's house and I'm still trying to process like what just happened.
What just happened?
In 45 minutes. What just happened? This is not real. So I ended up going home and I'm still shocked. I couldn't sleep. I just tossed and turned. I couldn't sleep because I'm just like, this is not reality for me. I just know if I really do go to sleep, I'm gonna wake up. It's just gonna be a whole dream. This is some science fiction stuff just happened, whatever. I woke up that next morning and immediately my brain said suicide.
Mm-hmm.
I was suicidal. I went straight to my safe and I couldn't figure out the code for nothing. I couldn't even process what the numbers was to get that safe open. So I'm like, I'm trying to get it open, I'm beating it, I'm trying to get it open. I'm just like, it won't open, I'm like, I'm trying to get it open. So my husband's like, well, what is wrong? I said, I can't live without my baby. I just was, they say I was everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
He got me, grabbed some clothes, took me to my mom's house, was like, he needs some assistance. Because I had done went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So from that day, the 6th of May, which was the next day, I was at my mom's house probably all the way until the end of May. I stayed at my mom's house. And people just was coming. People I didn't know, family members I didn't know. I made a lot of family that day. And everybody just was coming and I'm still trying to process what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even make the arrangements because I'm just like, that's reality if I do that. That's reality. Mm-hmm. I ain't ready to face reality. Yeah. So my sister best friend ended up doing the arrangements. And once I, kind of like thought to myself, you know what, this is your daughter. You can't let nobody do this for your daughter. You got to do it the way you want to do it. So I called the guy back from Gainesville, Bernard Phillips. He recently just passed too. I called him back and I was like, hey, I need y'all to come back down here because I need to look at the arrangements that y'all made. Mm-hmm. Make sure that I approve of what was done and change what I need to change. So he ended up coming back and he was just like, well, he put everything together and he was like, well, this is what it's going to be. And I was like, well, how did you find us? Because you're from Gainesville. You reached out to me. He said he seen it on the news and reached out to the news anchor and the news anchor gave him my information. I said, okay, cool. So I said, well, let me say this. We don't wear makeup. Mm-hmm. We don't wear a little color. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little eyeliner. I said, we won't wear makeup and I want my daughter to look like her. Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to walk up in thinking I'm looking at her because she's getting ready to go on film and she got all this stuff caked up on her. I stressed the importance of her being natural. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I got you. I said, I'm going to go with you because you're young. Mm-hmm. And you real sporting. I'm going to trust you with my baby. So, he did the arrangements and we had a viewing in Gainesville first. We went to Gainesville that Thursday. And she was so pretty. I'm just like, oh. She was so pretty. I couldn't even cry. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even cry. I was just like, I knew I was going to walk in. I'm going to be hollering and screaming. I'm going to be on the floor. Mm-hmm. Y'all got to keep me on the floor. You got the family. You got to do all this stuff. When I looked, and my baby looked like she was just sleeping and she was at peace. Mm-hmm. I stood over a casket and I was just like, baby girl, I don't know what you was going through. Because you didn't tell me nothing. Mm-hmm. But whatever it was, she looked like she was at peace. Mm-hmm. Like she didn't have to deal with the weight of whatever it was no longer. Yeah. And I told him I couldn't be more proud of what y'all did. But then I noticed I'm observing everything. I'm looking at everything. I'm gonna pull the collar back. I'm checking it out. So I say, well, what's going on with the nails? I said she wore nails square shape. I know they were square shape when y'all got her body, right? So he was like, yeah. I said, well, why they pointing? What's going on? You know, they like this. She would have never did that.
Yeah.
So he had to explain to me in her tussle that these 3 fingernails, she broke the whole nail bed off. So they had to make it work.
Okay.
So I'm like, so I done picked the 3 fingers up because I got to see this. Like, really? So I'm like, so you mean to tell me my daughter was fighting for her life? He said she was fighting for her life. And I'm just like, I got mad.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, Mama, I supposed to be there. I supposed to be there. I supposed to protect her. She was my responsibility. So I'm feeling all kind of ways now. I'm just like, be walking in here being happy because she didn't look like she was worried, like she made peace with whatever her last words was that day. So I'm mad now because I'm like she can fight for her life. What kind of woman you is? You went there to protect her. Like, what kind of woman you is? You didn't know what's going on.
In China, is she was a petite.
Yeah,
petite
she was like 5 feet, maybe 125 pounds at the most, because she said she would never be fat like me.
Okay.
So I'm just like,
you not fat.
So you hit on it a little bit that you say you didn't know what was going on. So her domestic violence situation that she was in, you had no clue as to what was going on?
I had no clue of the physical abuse. I knew a couple of times he had called her, calling her bees and this and that, and I'm like, hey, look here. No.
Yeah.
No. No. And one time she came to my house, they had to be about maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, her and the baby. And her and the 2 girls, because my grandson was already with me. I'm like, yeah, that's kind of late to be out, ain't it? So she was like, he over there with that mess, starting that mess. And I say, well, how you leave your house? That's your house. I bought that house for you. How you leave your house?
Yeah.
I said, you should make him leave. She said, he went and go. So I said, okay, well, we're going to go to bed. We'll deal with this in the morning. Her phone rung. I couldn't sleep because it just rung all night long. He called from private numbers. There was so many private numbers. I'm like, I know he didn't excite any phone number that was in your phone.
Yeah.
He called so much. I'm like, this is what you be dealing with? I said, well, is he physical? She said, no. Okay. I said, well, I don't like the verbal. Because I don't like the verbal. And a man gonna call you no bees and all that there.
Yeah.
That ain't cool. I say, you good? She was like, yeah. I said, okay, well, I mean, I can only take a word for it because I don't say that, so I don't know what's going on. So I said, okay. I said, you let me know, right? She said, Mom, I'm good. I said, okay, let me know. I know you think you body and you're a soldier. Let me know. So she said, okay. So she called me one day and she was going to CNA school. She was like, he trying to take the refrigerator and stove out the house. I'm like, what? I said, I'm on my way. So I get in Paxson. I pull up. He out there carrying on. So I'm like, well, what's going on? Oh, that's my refrigerator, my stove. Ain't no nigga finna come in here cooking in my stove and my refrigerator. I'm like, but your kids are in here.
Yeah.
So you're going to take a stove and refrigerator because you bought it, but your kids are in here. She put the food in for your kids.
Yeah.
So he just carrying on. By the time he done picked up the phone, called somebody telling them to come around. And I'm like, look here, I don't care who you call. I'm not her.
Yeah.
Call who you want to call. I'm going to continue to change the locks on the store.
Exactly.
So he done went and got the water hose, tried to take the water hose and put it over my head to wet up the refrigerator and stove. I looked at him. I said, you know what? I'm going to start praying because, see, Jesus going to need to come right now.
How old was this young man?
They're the same age. She was 24. He was 24.
Because he's so very immature. Like, and that's another thing, too, with the domestic violence in those type of relationships. It's not the loss of the relationship that sends them in a spiral. It's the loss of the control.
It's the control
of that person.
Yeah,
it's the loss of control of that person. So he could tell China was making moves. And you already described her as an ambitious young person that was, she had her mindset on other ventures that she was going to go out where she could make her own money. She wasn't codependent on him. And she had her mother, you know what I'm saying? She had that backbone there in you. So he just didn't have no control. And an already fragile ego he was shattered, basically.
And he had a twin brother, and he was basically the same because the twin brother had a girlfriend that he had and jumped on and stomped all in her face. And I'm just like, it was so crazy because, I mean, her friend had called me. It was at her house one night. I guess it was China, her kid's dad, his twin brother, his girlfriend, China friend that stayed there with her. And thank God I talked to her and allowed the young lady to be there with her. That way, you know, she was there when this occurred. Yeah. And she had called me and she was like, she had to call the police on her China's kid's dad. And I'm like, well, what happened? So she said she knows that China had one in the room. He went in the room behind her, but China hadn't came back out yet. So, you know, it had been quite some time that she hadn't been in the room. So she was like, she got up to go peep in the room and see what was going on. He was on her, choking her.
Oh, wow.
She said you can literally see, like, she was gasping for air. So she went to yelling, calling his twin brother to come in there. The brother wouldn't come in. So her and the twin brother girlfriend got the baby dad off of her. And she went in and called the police herself. And they did arrest him. He went to jail. They put him on an ankle monitor. And as soon as he got off that ankle monitor, I think he got off in, might have been April. Might have got off in February, April, because he went to jail in November of 2018. He got off in March or April of 2019. In May, she was dead. And he had a girlfriend. They lived together and everything. So,
and that's amazing that, like, the brother was there and didn't even intervene. Like, so I don't know if you know a lot about their upbringing. Was that a learned behavior that him and his brother was exposed to? Watching a man do maybe their mother like that or something like that? Or their dad, you know, their dad? Were they abused? Or they just mental, just some punk men?
Honestly, I had never seen this young man, never heard this young man, never had met this young man. I didn't know anything about this young man at the time he was pregnant.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, where did he come from? So after she passed, you know, I went to ask her friends, well, y'all was her good friends. Y'all went everywhere together. Yeah. Where he come from? So one of her friends had to tell me, you know, how they met him. I'm like, oh, okay, she must knew I wasn't going to prove. So he must was a secret. Yeah. Because I didn't find out about him until she was pregnant with Carly. So I'm like, and then even when I found out about him, you know, he didn't come around. I didn't had no dealings with that family. Okay. And she must knew I wasn't going to like nobody. Yeah. She knew because she know me. So I met the mom and the sister at the baby shower. So I'm like, this some crazy stuff going on. Like, you supposed to know the baby daddy. I supposed to know all about this boy. I supposed to do my homework. If I knew who he was, I would have done all my homework. Research. I would have knew who he was, what he was about, what the family was about. Knew nothing. And after she had the baby, you know, I had got a new bedroom set to go in the room or whatever. Had somebody come in and paint it, you know, set it up for her for when they came home. And Carly probably she wasn't even a week old. He came to the house to see her. And I'm still skeptical because I don't know you. So he came to the house to see her. And I'm back there in my room all the way in the back of the house. So you barely can hear anything. So me to hear something, you got to be real loud. So I come up and I'm like, what is that noise? My house is always quiet because I like it quiet and dark. My kids know that quiet and dark. So I'm walking up and I'm just like, I hear a man voice and he's out in my house. I walk up to the front, go to her room. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. I'm like, yeah, this ain't normal. Something wrong with this cat, for real. Yeah. He had the bottom of her bed up in the air with her and the newborn baby in the bed, and then dumped him out the bed.
What? Oh.
So I'm like, what the? I'm looking at her. I said, oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, you don't know who house you in.
Yeah.
Oh no. I say, look here, be as calm as I can, but I'm gonna need you to put that bed back down. Especially with my daughter and my grandbaby. I need you to put that bed back down. I ain't putting nothing down till she give me my money. I'm like, what money? What are you talking about? What is going on? I said, I don't care what you got in yours. You got your baby mama and the baby up in the air and flip them out of bed.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I walked back to my room and she knew. I walked back to my room. I went and got my gun. I said, I'm going to tell you one more time. Make your way to my front door. And don't you ever come back to my house again. I ain't going up. I say, I'm going to cock the back. This is your only warning.
Yeah.
Young man. Because I'm a little like her. And you 6 something. About 200 something.
How many times you don't replay that day wishing you can go back to it?
Ooh, child, you just don't know.
I already know.
He never came back to my house no more.
So we're going to, before we wrap it up, because I want you to go into the foundation that you founded for China, in China's memory. I also want the audience who don't know the rest of the story is on that particular day when China was murdered, her baby's daddy was also killed by China's friend trying to defend China.
Right.
So Tiki now shares custody. Or you're in a custody situation with his family.
I have guardianship of the girls, but the grandmama's court ordered to get them every other weekend.
Yeah.
So, and then I know as a mother, she lost her son. So I'm not going to make it just, your son killed my daughter. I'm not that type of person. I do have sympathy for people and I sympathize. And I remember going to hug her one day. I seen her because I had to ride past her house to get my mom's house. And she was outside gardening. So I got out the car and walked up to her to hug her. She pushed me back.
Wow.
Like if she was mad at me. You can't, I don't need to be mad.
Right.
But I'm just the type of person like, if it's not her weekend and she need them, I'll let them go over there. If it's her weekend and there's no school, I'll let them stay. Like this year, Christmas break, they went over to Christmas. I just got them back yesterday.
Okay.
And I'm not the type of grandparent that I'm like, hey, you ain't getting them. You only gonna get them on your weekend. No, those kids are a part of her son as well. So I can feel her as grieving. I'm cordial. Cordial. I'm big on that word, cordial. I'm cordial, but I'm not trying to make this no family reunion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm always be cordial because they call her Nana. They like their Nana. They love their Nana. They love their grandma. So, we just got to compromise to make this thing. We got to come together and make this thing work for the kids because at the end of the day, it's about China's kids. It's not about me. It's not about her. It's not about, who we feel was right, who we feel was wrong. It's about the children.
Okay.
Neither I was there, neither was she there. So neither one of us pulled the trigger that took both of their lives that night.
Yeah.
But we have to make it work for the children.
Right. Exactly.
And so I'm big on being neutral with the situation. I'm not pointing no fingers at nobody, although we know what happened that night.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not bitter about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a date. We all got to go. Okay. I just, unfortunately, the way she left, I wasn't prepared.
Yes.
So I don't say, my saying is with my daughter passing, China's death taught me that death isn't tailor-made. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, and who you belong to. It's your day, it's your day.
That's right.
It just leaves, the remaining living on how to deal with it. Is we going on 6 years. It don't get no easier. It don't get no easier.
Yeah.
And it's not every second, every minute. It's every second thing.
Okay.
So for those, anybody, I have a Instagram and Facebook. It's China's Voice. I have a documentary that I did a 5-city tour. I haven't actually put the documentary out yet, but we're thinking about doing a viewing for it again. But you can always Google Khina Culler on YouTube and it'll give you previews of what happened. And some of the documentary it'll show you some of her funeral services. We also have a website at China's Voice where we got, I got a hoodie on today. So, we gradually putting items on the website, to help with the foundation, to help, people that's in domestic violence situations. You can always call me, 904-233-1090. Text me, message me on Facebook. Facebook. My name is Raffi Gabor, and I'm always willing to talk. And, you know, I have some parents that do reach out to me, and what I do with these parents is I will take their kids. I ask them for the permission first, you know, young mothers, because they need to know. I will take them to the cemetery.
Yeah.
I take them to my daughter's grave site
Mm-hmm.
and let them feel, you know, this real.
It's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, y'all gonna be doing what me and my grandkids do. I bring them to the cemetery.
Yeah.
So that's one of my ways of letting them know, you know, once we go up on this dirt, we're not coming back.
Right.
Right.
This is reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, you know, you come to me, I'm gonna give it to you raw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not sugarcoating, I'm not making it cute for nobody because it's not cute.
Exactly.
So I guess her death led to this calling,
Mm-hmm.
which you know, I'm not gonna say I'm grateful for the calling. I'd
Yeah.
rather have my child.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if I can save somebody else's child's life, words of wisdom, will do.
All right.
So I just got a quick question. What do you want people to know about Khina and her legacy? What do you want? How do you want her legacy? What do you want her legacy to be?
I want her legacy to be that no matter the situation, she showed strength through it all. She showed endurance. She showed that she was still going to try to overcome any obstacle that came her way. I want people to be vibrant by themselves. Don't deny yourself from anything. Anything you want to do, because that's what she did. She did it.
All right.
Let no one stop you.
That's
All
great.
right. So
That's awesome.
So there it is, you guys. Again, we want to thank Tiki Stafford for being here on the show today, talking about her daughter, Khina. And if you or anyone you know are victims of domestic violence, please speak with someone today. Call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. They're open 24/7, and the number is 1-800-799-7233. Again, that number is 1-800-799-7233. If you are in immediate danger, please call 911. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all be blessed. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.